Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel today. Welcome to this video. My name is Donna, and this is Fancy Fiber Forum. Why? Because I like fancy fiber. I just really like it a lot. I want to welcome all those who are returning fiber friends. I do want to welcome new subscribers. Thank you so much for checking me out. And, I hope you stick around. This channel is really all about crochet and yarn. Maybe one day I will start talking a little bit more about knit, but I am still learning. So, oh my gosh. Bean gets on the back of the chair like he's a cat. Bean, get down. One moment. Okay. Tragedy averted. Apparently he loves squirrels. Of course, Goober does too. But it makes him jump from the floor to the back of the recliner. And I can just see that recliner going backwards and breaking a window. So anyway, yeah, tragedy averted. As I was saying, this channel is all about yarn and crochet, possibly getting into knit as I learn a little bit more about it. I am still definitely a newbie and practicing as much as possible with the tools that I have, which is not very much. Before we get started, let me talk about what I'm wearing. I've never been so full of joy making a project, I think, as this one. The escape shawl is a close second. This just made my heart so happy to make this piece. Number one, because it was easy. Number two, because the colors are my colors. Purples and greens, all in one yarn with a little bit of blue. I mean, what? I'm almost speechless in trying to describe this cowl. Oh my goodness. I kind of wish now that I've made this version of it, I know how I would tweak it later. I made a similar cowl to this. It's an Expression Fiber Arts pattern, and I made it with bulky yarn. If I can find a picture, I'll post it. I'll post it right here as I'm talking. But this was so easy. Basically, and I'm gonna tell you more about the designer and direct you. Get down. Direct you to her website. But basically all it is you chain whatever length you want. I really wasn't planning on a rolled collar, but it works. You basically chain the length that you want, and she tells you to go like from the bottom of your ear down to wherever you want it to stop. You do an even number chains for that length, and then add one, because what you'll do after you go back, so you go back in your typical manner, single crochet in the second chain all the way back. So now you have an even number, okay? you divide that even number by 2. Next time, I think I'll divide it by 3 and make the collar section shorter and this section longer. And I think that's how the Expression Fiber Arts pattern is. The neck part is shorter and the cowl part is longer. But in this one, you divide it in 2, and the first part you do single crochet back loop and then half double crochet back loop the other half. Turn it around and go back the other way. Half double crochet back loop, single crochet back loop. And you just keep doing that till it's the circumference that you want. It's so simple. But again, if I do this pattern again, and I very well may, I could not sleep last night for 2 reasons. Number one, I shouldn't have chocolate tea at 6 o'clock at night. It might have even been later. But I was wide awake till probably 3 o'clock. Laid in bed, couldn't sleep. Plus, and maybe it's because of that my mind is working, trying to think of yarn combinations to make another one of these. So I'm thinking all about the yarns I have in my yarn room, you know, coming up with the next iteration of this. But for this one, first of all, let me tell you about the pattern. It is called the Ribbed Crochet Cowl. And for the one that she did hers about half the length of mine. She only chained 33. So that's basically 32, not counting the turning chain of 1. So divide that in half. So 16 single, 16 half double. And hers probably ended like right here. And she used DK weight yarn. She gives you options. You can use DK, Aran, worsted, or bulky. I imagine you could even do a sport weight. Why not? She encourages the idea of having a marled look by holding a strand of fingering weight with the base color, and then, you know, using like a variegated for the other color, which is what I did here, kind of. But this is two really light, well, 2 DKs held together, and I used a 6mm hook. So she recommends, I believe, a 6mm hook for DK and fingering together, worsted or Aran, and then an 8mm for a bulky weight. So I've got bulky weight. I've got lots of yarn that I have ideas on what to use this for. But anyway, her website is rosaliesdaughter.com. I don't know if you can, I can't tell if I'm in frame or not. rosaliesdaughter.com. So ROSALIES daughter.com. She has an Etsy store. She's also on Ravelry as Becca-Carlson. Becca, BECCA dash or hyphen Carlson with a C. So that's her Ravelry, and her name is Becca Goldthwait Carlson. I wonder if she's Bob Goldthwait's daughter. Wouldn't that be something? How common is the name Goldthwait? And then she's on Facebook as rosaliesdaughter.shop. So I highly recommend this pattern. I mean, I started this last night, probably around, it was late afternoon, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. And I just finished it. I just stitched it up. It's 4:15. I stitched it up probably an hour ago. So it doesn't take very long. Of course, this is all I did, but it didn't take long at all. And I did 60. I did a chain of 60. I forgot to add the one To be honest, I didn't even read through. I just read that it said an even number on your chain. So I just added an extra one at the end. So I did 61. So 30 single and then 30 half doubles. And it hits me at the top of my arm. But I wish I would have added probably about another, I don't know, 6 or 8 rows, because it fits my shoulders, but if I were to do this, you know, it's not going to keep the memory. So as much as I love these colors, and my birthstone is Alexandrite, this screams Alexandrite to me. I may change my mind and keep it. I don't know. This would be gorgeous under a black coat, like a dress coat or any coat. Put it under a black coat and you have all of these sequins. Oh my gosh. This would be gorgeous under a black coat, or even a white coat, any coat, purple coat, green coat. And then, you know, over a really pretty dress or a sleeveless top. Gorgeous. I mean, it's beautiful. Doesn't need any special edging at all. If I had no, you don't really want any edging because you want this to stretch. So, you know, if I did do edging, it would be on the bottom. It wouldn't be here because you want this to stretch. So I would put it on the end, you know, maybe some, I don't know, something fuzzy or a really pretty eyelash yarn, something, I don't know. But let me show you the yarns that I used. So I'll tell you the story. The night before I decided to make this, I'm laying in bed again. Tell me if any of you guys do this. I do this all the time. I lay in bed, and the majority of the time, if I can't sleep, this is why. I lay in bed thinking about what I want, what yarns I have and what I want to make. Well, either I was conscious or I was dreaming. But I happened to think about this yarn that I've had for, I don't know, probably a year. I got this yarn at here, the local yarn store, Knitcraft, about a year ago. And I was hesitant to get it because it's black, but I'm so glad I have it. So this is Rossetti Polaris. And as you can see, it's black, single ply, and it has the sequins. The fiber content is, if I can find it, well, part of it's covered up. 65% Draylon, which is synthetic, of course. And then the label is covering up the rest, so I don't know what else it is. But it's probably all synthetic. Let's see, I can't really read. I don't know. The colorway is called Midnight. But isn't that pretty? And it's kind of a roving. It goes thick and thin. So that's like a really light 3 to me. So I dreamt about this. I either dreamt it or I just happened to be thinking about it the night before I chose to use it. So when I woke up the next day, I went to go hunt for it. And I knew right away I wanted to make a cowl. I knew right away. I knew I had about 4 or 5 balls of this. So I knew I wanted to make a cowl similar, you know, like this. Not just that you could wear on your neck, but one that would go down on your shoulders. And I had a particular pattern in mind that I thought I had saved. And I hunted and hunted and hunted for it yesterday. I could not find it. But somehow I came across this one. And I thought, that is so pretty. And it reminds me so much of the one from Expression Fiber Arts. But hers specifically uses super bulky yarn. So Actually, I did take a picture of it, so I will share that cowl here or here. And that turned out really nice. It's super heavy, but it's the same principle. Narrow here, wide here. The other yarn I used is my favorite, well, my second favorite Hobby Lobby yarn, Chloe. When I realized that they were selling this out and discontinuing it last year, I was so sad, because what natural fibers do they have now? They have the hand dyed and they have cotton, and that's it. They have some wool blends, but I think the majority of their yarn is synthetic, majorly synthetic. I mean, you know, if it's a blend, it's more on the synthetic side. So when I knew this was going away, I was so sad. And this Chloe, if I can find is 70% wool, 30% viscose, which is same as bamboo, wood pulp. And this is ombre sky. So you can see the purples and the greens and the blue. So these two combined played out beautifully in this cowl. I can't say enough about this thing of beauty. I mean, it really takes a lot to impress myself with my own stuff. It really does. I'm not that proud of everything I make. This, oh my gosh. I hope you guys can tell how pretty this is. I hope you can. It's just gorgeous. I have enough of this, and I probably have enough of this. I could make another one. If I take this to market on Saturday and see if it sells, if it does sell, I can make another one and just do it differently, so that the collar would only be like a third, and then make this longer and do more rows. I think that would be nice. This is a little itchy on the neck because this isn't all that soft, to be honest, but I still love it. I still love it, but it does tend to be a little bit itchy. So if someone is interested in this on Saturday, I'll have to make sure and let them know that it can be a little bit itchy if they're at all sensitive. But oh my gosh, you guys, isn't this gorgeous? This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Let me turn, well, I don't know if I want to turn that light on. I've got a light on over here. Can you see it sparkling? Oh my gosh. Look at it sparkling. I just love it. Oh my gosh. Can you tell how much I love it? Okay. I think I'm gonna make another one with this. And I think I'm gonna hold it double with, let me see where it is. There it is. I think I'm gonna hold it double with that. And this is a llama lace from Queensland. Wouldn't that be pretty? I just don't know if that's enough yardage. I'm gonna have to weigh this. I'm gonna have to weigh this and see what it weighs. Because this and this, I have two of these. So between all this, I have about 300 grams. So I don't want to start it. Of course, I could make it shorter. I could make it shorter. Linda, if you're watching, this is the yarn, one of the yarns you gave me. So, yeah, I'm thinking about making another one with those two. And then I also thought about making one with it's another Hobby Lobby yarn called Hint of Silk. And it is bamboo and silk. I already made a blanket with it. I don't think that it's got enough stretch to it to be a good cowl. I don't think it does. So that's one of the combinations I was thinking of last night while I was trying to fall asleep. I thought that would be so nice because it's got a weight to it, but it's soft and silky. Okay, that's enough. Enough. Squirrels. So I don't know if bamboo and silk would be a good option for something that needs to stretch. I don't know. If any of you have any suggestions or ideas or comments about that, let me know. If you think it will work, I would certainly do it. Yeah, because I think it would be nice and soft and just lovely. But in the meantime, I'm loving this one. I just love it. Have I gone on long enough about it? I think I'll stop. But I highly recommend it, you guys. It's very customizable. You can make it as short or as long as you want. But again, if you don't want a rolled collar, don't do it half and half. You might do it a third and a third, unless you're going to make it really short, you know. Or you can make it extra wide so that you could just leave this up and, you know, pull it down. See, that's not gonna, I don't think that'll work. So it's better with it rolled over. If you have to go, you know, too many rows, it's better to do that. All right, so enough about the cowl. Bean, we are here for well, for a lot of things, but in particular, I want to share my day 9 of my Aberdeenswool holiday box, which is a Tangled Poets yarn from Aberdeenswool. Their 2024 holiday box, Advent. I hadn't said the word Advent. There we go. I said Advent. It is an Advent. And I was watching Shannon yesterday from Another Yarn, and she made a good point. It is an investment. Because that Advent is pretty pricey. But when you think about it, 30 grams, roughly 30 grams per hank, and you get 24 of 30 grams. So that's over 600 grams of yarn, over 600 grams. A typical hank is 100 grams. So it's the equivalent of roughly 6 hanks. Plus you get a full size. So 700 hank, or 7, basically the equivalent of 7 hanks of yarn for, I'm not going to say. Should I say? I don't know if I should. Bean! Get down! Thank you. It was roughly $200. But you also got a couple of gifts. You got a shawl cuff and you got a really nice candle. Did everyone get the same candle? Mine was a citrus and something. Oh, it was lovely. I loved it. It burned way too fast, but oh my gosh, I may buy some more in the future when their postal strike is over, because I'm sure it's a Canadian company. But yeah, that candle was lovely. So you got the shawl cuff and the candle and some patterns that were pretty nicely put together. And it was all in an effort to support Heather and her small business after she's been dealing with some health issues. So that's why I took part. That's exactly why I took part, because I wanted to make sure she was going to be able to continue doing what she loves to do. And that is supplying yarn, dyeing yarn, growing yarn, basically, because she has her own sheep. So I wanted to help her out with that. And I did. And I believe she's been able to save her whole flock. I don't know if she's had to sell any of them. But yeah, I would highly recommend taking part next year. I will probably as well, if finances permit, that I will take part next year. So yeah, I'm glad I did it because these yarns are just gorgeous. I've purchased the little micro minis, and that's a good representation of what they do. But the micro minis that I have are all variegated. And so far, all of these 30-gram minis are not variegated, and I'm so glad they're not. I mean, that could change, but as far as what I've seen so far, they've all been tonal, which I love. I just love it. I have to add to my Mrs. Fezziwig today. I added the row of Bean. Get down. Get down. 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 Thank you. I added the second row of number 25 for Mrs. Fezziwig, and it's just looking beautiful. I just love it. So anyway, that's a little background on the Advent. And here is number 9. Yeah, that's not an underline. It's just the edge of the square of the stamp. I know this is number 9. So without further ado, let's get to number 9, shall we? I know Shannon's already ahead of me. She's already done hers, but I didn't watch yet. I always wait till I do mine before I look at hers. Yesterday's, let me show you yesterday's. One moment. All right, yesterday's was this beautiful teal, number 8. And it's looking more blue on my screen, but I would say this is more of a teal green than a teal blue, in my humble opinion. And then the one before that was this grayish blue. So this one will be going into the shawl today. This one will be tomorrow. And let's get to number 9, shall we? I'm not looking. Ooh, this is a very light blue. That was unexpected. I was expecting something more like in the teal family again. But that is definitely, there's a name for this kind of blue. It's not a baby blue. Yeah, it's not really a baby blue. It's like a really light, I don't know if I want to say ocean blue either. It's a little more green in person than what's showing up on my screen. But yeah, it's definitely a light blue. That's really pretty. So that will be going, oh, that's going to be nice. Look at that. That'll be going next to that. That's going to be so pretty. That definitely goes with the fade. And this whole thing is supposed to be a fade. The website noted that it would be blues and aquas and teals and purples and other colors. So far we've had purples, and then it went to like a blue gray, and then it went to a gray blue, and now we're going into the greenish blues, teals, light. I'd say this is like a light teal green. That's how I would describe it, because it's very close to this one. It's very close to this. It's just I think it's a lighter color of this. So That's beautiful. I am so happy to have that. Yeah, so I'll be balling that up and adding that to my shawl probably this evening after my son gets home from work. Bean? They're barking at something. What's the matter? What's the matter? What do you see? Probably kids walking in the street. I don't know. Okay, so that's all for the yarn. Wow. Oh yeah, there's kids in the street now. I'm seeing. Get down, Bean. Let's get down. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I've mentioned it. I think I have, but I'm committed to do my sister's market this Saturday. So I brought out my good mannequin and I styled all of my recent makes, and I realized I have ends to sew in. I photographed, I think, probably 10 different shawls, ponchos, scarves, and the majority of them need ends sewn in. So I'll be concentrating on that this week. That's not going to be fun. I still have my granddaughter's blanket I have to work on because it's got to be done for Christmas. And at this rate, it's not going to be done. But I've got to get those ends sewn in before Saturday. Yeah, I took pictures and I sent all the pictures to her. So hopefully she will be advertising. Yeah, this is the fun that we have all day. And it's muddy outside, so I can't have them doing that outside. Or, we'll have a repeat of the mud fiasco from last week. I don't want that. So anyway, yeah, I've got the market on Saturday, so I hope it goes well. I really hope it goes well. Because if it doesn't, I doubt that I'll do it again. Because that would make twice in a row that I schlep all this stuff over there and I sell nothing. So say a prayer for me, will you, that it's a successful market for me? I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it will be successful. I guess that's all I've got for you guys today. Sorry that I kept you so long, but, I wanted to go on and on about, I couldn't help but go on and on about this cowl. It's so pretty. I still can't get over it. I kind of wish now it was a little bit longer. It's almost a capelet. I wish it was a little bit, maybe, 2 inches longer and about, another 2 to 3 inches wider so that it would rest comfortably on my shoulders and I didn't have to, do this number all the time. But, maybe if I don't want to block it and stretch it out, that wouldn't be good. But I'm going to take it with me Saturday. If it doesn't sell, I'll keep it. And I'll figure out a way to make it work for me. Maybe put some weights on it, on the ends. Get some heavy buttons or something to weight it down. All right, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks again for popping in and watching the goings on over here. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the patronage. And I guess I will be back again tomorrow with day 10 of the Aberdeenswool 2024 Advent gift box. It's not a gift box. It's an Advent holiday box. Christmas box. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying opening a new one every single day. It's a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun. And I will try to remember to put Becca's website in the description, or put a link to the cowl if I can find it. I should be able to find it. But it was a free pattern. If I didn't mention that already, it's a free pattern. So I highly recommend it. You can make it for a little girl. You know, very easily could make it for a little girl. It'd whip up in no time if you made it smaller. I thought about making one for my granddaughter, but I don't know that she would wear one. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and scoot out of here. Just fly out of here. And I will pop back on tomorrow with day 9 of the Advent yarn. In the meantime, you guys take care. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying this holiday season, Christmas season. If you have travel plans, I pray that you travel peacefully and safely. But above everything else, remember, God loves you. God does love you. He loves you so much, He gave His only Son, sacrificed for the forgiveness of sins for everybody on the earth. So, you know, let's remember why He came to this earth and lived as a regular human being, so that He would know our struggles and our pains. Because God doesn't, I mean, I'm sure God knows, but God's not human. But He sent His Son, which is basically God incarnate, to experience the human experience. And He suffered on that cross for me and for you. So let's remember that, why He came here to begin with. And I just pray that you all love each other. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you again for watching. Jesus loves you. I love you. And we will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.